Good morning, everyone. BAM meteorologist John Kemper here, recording your Sunday morning daily Iowa regional video update here around 6 a.m. Central Time. Hope you guys have having a great weekend so far here. Wanting to get into the latest across the area here, and guys, as Matt has been discussing over the past couple days, this pattern is not only going to drop off but become very, very quiet here. Not seeing any type of precipitation concerns or really much of anything of high impact here, especially over the next 5 days. So we're going to kind of touch on the few things that we do need to keep an eye on, including winds and some pavement frost potential for tomorrow morning, in addition to this next frontal system that will be moving in as we get towards that Thursday evening, Friday morning area. So in terms of what we're dealing with temperatures across the region here, far northwestern Iowa, and Will already issued a localized frost alert here for portions of far northwestern Iowa here. For the most part, I will say for those of you that have the PaveCast feature, the pavement temperatures are a little bit too cold there for the most part, but I do think it's a localized risk, especially for some of those more susceptible areas, elevated pavement and bridges as well. So that's the only area that you'll need to monitor for here, at least through that 8:30 a.m. Central Time. But once the sun comes up, quickly going to warm up things across the region here. Now, in terms of the rest of the day, for the most part, temperatures gradually going to be warming. I'm back up again into the mid to upper 50s here as well. The only other store today that we will need to keep an eye on here is wind gust potential. I do think for those of you that are in northeastern Iowa, especially northeast of Waterloo and towards the Dubuque area here, one area that we do need to keep an eye on that may be a little bit too overdone based on what I'm seeing here is from Creston all the way towards the Des Moines area here. I can't rule out some gusts of up to 30, but thinking for the most part this is going to stay closer to around 25 miles per hour here. And then in terms of what we're going to be favoring beyond that, no precipitation concerns for today, but as we get into tomorrow morning, going to go ahead and jump ahead here for that Monday time frame here. For the most part, I do think that temperatures are going to get, once again, especially if you are along and to the north of that US 20 corridor here. So it's going to include that Fort Dodge, Mason City, Waterloo area. Once again, I do think that we will need to keep an eye on some of those colder temperatures. Now, been looking through the data this morning, and I have to say I think mainly for these locations right here are going to be that I'm going to circle right here, or where I would say there's a 2 out of 10 potential for some pavement frost. Again, I think that moisture is going to be more the concern here. Dew points are going to be lower, and that's a factor that we continue to look at. So again, I'm going to say only 2 out of 10. We'll continue to keep you posted and put additional advisories out as needed. But yeah, again, very low confidence 2 out of 10 type of forecast here for this particular situation. Reach out if you have any questions on that. In terms of what we're favoring, as we get further and further into the week here, we are going to start to warm up progressively day by day here. I think in terms of tomorrow morning, Monday, is going to be that last day, at least for the next few days, that we'll have to look into some of those lower temperatures here. But as we get into that Monday night, Tuesday morning, this is going to be around 11 p.m. Central Time Monday. As that higher pressure gradually begins to push a little bit further towards the east here, we will need to continue to monitor steadily for some of those wind gusts increasing 20 to 25 miles per hour here. And I think for the most part, hourly and the daily part of your application is doing fairly well at seeing those gusts here as we continue to push further into the week here. Again, not seeing anything major associated with that, but there are going to be not completely calm in terms of winds here. So we continue to push forward. I think over the next 6 days, Wednesday is going to be your best day for temperatures, likely going to be right around those mid 60s, perhaps towards the Tumwaqueston area. Could see some temperatures closer to around the upper 60s and just around 70 degrees here as well. And then in terms of what we're looking at for that next frontal system here, I would say towards the Friday time frame for northwestern Iowa and into Mason City. Once again, probably going to be north of US 20, northwestern Iowa here. Likely going to be dealing with that cold front that's gradually going to be pushing to the southeast here. A little bit too far out to get into the details. Not seeing a lot of pavement frost concerns with this, just given those warmer temperatures previous through the week, but something we will continue to keep an eye on here as well. In terms of what we're favoring for precipitation, it's going to be very minor. It would not surprise me if everyone stays dry overall here, but this is going to be that frontal system we need to watch Thursday night into that Friday morning time frame here. If some of that precipitation coverage can extend a little bit further to the southwest towards Des Moines as this continues to push to the east, southeast here. That would be the next low-end chance, as you will, but could be some rain potential there that we will need to continue to track here in the coming days. Guys, as always, reach out in the Weather Portal app if you have any questions or concerns, and hope you have a great rest of your weekend.